Hello there guys, it's me and Stable Voltage. Welcome to episode 3 of Crusader Kings 2 on our second attempt here at managing to form the Empire of Britannia. It's about this time in the last playthrough when things really started to go wrong, so let's hope we have a bit better luck this time around. So when the guests arrived, my son... Now we worked out how to pronounce this name earlier, I thought, and I've forgotten it already, so I think it's Beortric. When guests arrive, my son Beortric is the first to greet them and shower them with questions. The child clearly has potential, which gives him a chance to gain... he gains 1 diplomacy and 5 prestige, and he would also become gregarious, which is a good trait. Or we can gain some diplomacy, or some piety, or... Yeah, we want to give him gregarious. Why wouldn't we? It's a positive trait. So he now has... he's brave as well. Don't know when he picked that up, but he's now brave and he's gregarious, which is very, very good. He's actually better than our eldest son, who's just deceitful. That's a bit of a shame. No feast is complete without boar meat. Who will get the prestigious task of hunting and slaying the boars needed for the feast? So we can send out the marshal. I can hunt for it for myself or force the peasants to hunt. Now send out the marshal. There is a chance that he can be wounded or maimed. There's even a 1% chance that he will die. Or I can hunt for it for myself with the same chances. But we don't want to be wounded or maimed, and I know how much this game really hates me, so let's go ahead and send out the marshal. At least if he gets wounded or maimed, it isn't the end of the world. We don't want to spend too lavishly on food, although it would give us some additional prestige, but we are trying to amass wealth at the moment. So let's invite everybody. When I opened the door, I saw no one, but as I stepped aside to close, it's a group of acrobats cartwheeled, somersaulted and tumbled in. They performed all sorts of tricks, and everyone watching exploded into applause when they finished. So there, let's pay them and not lose the prestige. Because once we get this claim on Middlesex, we'll be losing some there. Welcome to my feast. Hopefully everyone will turn up. I thought the food was superb, the wine mediocre, and the dancers beautiful. Some of the more inebriated guests joined the dancers in a quadrille. Quadrille? Have no idea what that is. Gain 15 prestige. Gain 10 prestige. The Earl of Worcester actually likes me even more. We've got a positive opinion thing there. So his plate was still almost full when the acrobats had finished their performance, and he applauded almost frantically with a blissed look in his eyes. Unfortunately, though, everyone who drank... let's try that again, and this time I'll enable English. Everyone drank and were happy. That is a really bad sentence. Everyone drank and were happy. Except Mayor Elfnoth, this game really tests me sometimes, who refused more wine. This insulting gesture means that he does not appreciate my hospitality. He's only a mayor, though, so we're not too bothered about that all in all. So we'll allow things to continue on. Yeah, dancing with the dancers, gaining more prestige, all good stuff. And more free prestige. Last of the guests has returned home, more prestige. So look at this now, we've actually got 100 opinion modifier with the Count of Oxford and the Count of Worcester. Still need to improve things with the Count of Derby. These are the 3 most important people in my realm, because these are my 3 direct vassals. These guys are the ones who control the majority of my levy. I mean, look between them, 41%, 40%, 38%. That is their power relative to mine. So if you consider how many troops I have that are my own personal levy, which we can look at under the military tab, I have 1,175 troops available. That's my own personal army that comes from my own domain. So the 3 castles that I own, they're my own personal men. And then I can take 786 men from my vassals' levy. So that's their armies that I can call upon. And that number there tells you what their sort of percentage is in relation to me. So he's got an army that is 41% the size of my army. Now bear in mind, if I try and raise levies, I'm not getting everybody's full army. They do keep some behind for themselves. But this is why it's important to have these guys as happy as possible, because 1, the more they like you, the more troops they'll give you if you raise their levies in a war, and secondly, the more they like you, the less chance there is that they'll actually rise up against you and try to take your title. So good news, my lord. We've received credible reports of a recent sighting of the great white stag in the province of Gloucester. Saddle my horse. I'm on my way. So what are we up to now? We're currently 41 years old. Would be nice to get the hunting dog so we can get the additional health. That would help. We've improved relations with another religious head. Let's have a quick look at the vassals here. So the Bishop of Canterbury actually currently likes me more than he likes the Pope. That's really weird. Now, the Bishop of Leicester has 100% opinion of me, but he also has 100% opinion of the Pope, so we're not getting anything from him at the moment. The Bishop of Lincoln, we're not too far off. We could try and work on him. Let's go ahead and try that, actually. Then let's take you, and you are going to try and work... Oh, I can't send you to Lincoln because you are the Bishop of Lincoln, derp. I feel that is something that they've changed. You used to be able to get people to improve relations with themselves, but they seem to have gone ahead and changed that now. So, where else could we send you? I guess we'll send you down... I can't remember now. I looked at the list just a second ago. So Canterbury likes me more. I guess we could go and try and secure that, because he is giving us 5... Well, yeah, 5 ducats a month he's giving us. No, 5 ducats a year. His yearly income is 14.5 ducats, and he's giving us 35% of that. So let's go and make sure that we ensure it stays that way for a while. You can go and continue to improve relations. So you've gathered your followers and your hunting dogs, and you've saddled your horse and prepared your weapons. You are ready to set out and hunt the great white stag, and an epic hunt it shall be. So come on, game, give us some of the good events this time around. So, oh dear, during your hunt, you come to a deep gorge. Right on the other side is the white stag staring at you. You are so close yet you cannot reach it. As it runs away, you realise that you must return home without a victory this time. So, now I know my purpose in life. I gain the trait Hunter. I will be known as the Hunter. And I gain Martial +1. And Hunter gives me Martial +2. +1 Diplomacy. Plus 20% Pursuit, which is a combat modifier. And also, same trait opinion. Or I can just get the 1 Martial. No, we'll take that one. So, this is now brilliant. We are now King Unstable, the Hunter of Mercia. And we have 17 Martial. And we have Pursuit, plus 20% Hunter. Martial Influence is 1.85, so we've got a fairly decent Pursuit score there. Brilliant. Okay, so we're actually shaping up to be quite a good leader. We do need to keep our eye on our sons, particularly their age. Well, we are actually training our 2 oldest sons anyway, so that doesn't really matter. So maybe they'll get some good martial training. Although we don't actually have a martial education. We've got a thrifty clerk education, so we'll see how that works out. My wife is pregnant. Also see up here we have an independent Lancaster, who maybe we could go and try and pick on later on. Always a possibility. Always worth just checking every now and then. Sometimes you do get random CBs against people. I don't think we do have any CBs against anybody, no. Because they'd be showing up in yellow if we did, and we do not. So we'll just carry on. This guy still has that 15.78% chance yearly of fabricating a claim, but he's taking his time. My son Oswald makes sure everyone gets exactly the same amount of whatever sweets the cook gives the children. Well, that is good. That gives him the trait Just. Don't know why we'd pick the second one, because they both give him... Oh, he loses the trait Just. Well, no, we want him to be just. Because it's all good. Stewardship, learning, vassal opinion, same trait opinion. Now, that is actually our oldest son and heir. So he's deceitful, but he's also just. Surely those two things shouldn't go together. So Beorhtric is modest and humble, never showing off or bragging. Do we want him to be humble? Gives him piety. Or we can have him be proud or wrath. I think humble is fine. I don't think that's too bad. Rise of the Shear doesn't really affect us. Certainly not at this point in the game. Haven't even got anywhere near the Muslim territories yet, so don't have to worry about that. My little son Beortric always has his nose in the scriptures and spends all his time among the priests. Now, zealous is quite good. I mean, you have a negative opinion with other faiths and opposite traits, which we don't really care about all that much. But it gives him +2 martial and church opinion. So, yeah, sure, be zealous. Can't believe this. The game's given me like 3 good events in a row. I suppose I'll just randomly die in a second for no apparent reason whatsoever. I was quite hoping something... Oh, another daughter. I was quite hoping something similar would happen to the last video where we get a random Lollard heresy pop up, because then we can actually declare war on them instantly because it's a holy war. Collected a tithe in Leicester. 20 gold, not bad. We're up to 250 gold now. Almost afford to hire some mercenaries if it hits the fan later on, which it probably will. Make sure we keep our eye on those vassal opinions. Definitely need to improve things with you. It's not too good. We're in June. We could probably go ahead and spend a little bit of money and have a summer fair. So let's go ahead and do it. No reason not to at this point. Well, I don't want to become stressed. So let's lose some gold for prestige. Gain some prestige. No, nothing negative on that, straight off the back of that anyway. And again, the mayor doesn't like me. Fair enough. Gain some more prestige. So we're nearly up to 500 prestige now, which is actually quite good at this stage in the game. And at least we'll be able to offset it a little bit. You're no longer the steward. What happened? Did you die? You did die. Died after of poor health. Okay, so we need to get ourselves a new steward then. Who do we have? You'd like to be a steward. Your stewardship is terrible. You have the same level of stewardship and you actually want to become a steward. So if I go ahead and make you my steward, that should increase your stewardship to 12. Yep, there we go. And you can go and start collecting some tithes in there as well. All good stuff. You're actually my spy master as well. So this guy likes us, but he may end up getting killed because I've sent him to Byzantium, so it's a little bit risky, but we should be okay. Are you going to hurry up and fabricate that claim? You've been taking quite some time now. We have another commander slot available. I assume that auto sorts people in the from top marshal. Seems strange that our most qualified commander at the moment is a bishop. I thought the game had frozen then, but it was just auto-saving. My son Oswald lacks all passion and ambition, perfectly content with his own life. Well, we don't want him to be content. We want him to be, if anything, ambitious. So we want him to lose the content trait. Being ambitious is much, much better. Really annoyed that we haven't got that claim yet down there. Beortric has developed a habit for wild parties. There is nothing I can do. 60% chance that he gains charitable, 40% chance that he gains lustful. Charitable is good for diplomacy. Lustful, not so much because he loses piety. Curfews, there's a well, we don't want him to become arbitrary because that's just negative. And chaste isn't all that good either because it's basically just learning. So ideally we want to go for that one. So it always gives freely to everyone that has a need or want. And he's getting the charitable trait. Good. So we got another positive event there. Very, very nice. Now, what's our sort of levy up to? It's still growing. It's still good. We could use some of our money to improve some of our holdings, but I feel that we should hang on to our money at the moment just in case we need it for mercenaries. Credible reports of the sighting of the white stag in the province of Worcester. Saddle my horse. It gets about a bit, this white stag. It's now travelled from Leicestershire to Worcester, so it's done a good, I don't know, 100 or so miles. It's really got some legs on it. This time it will not escape me. I bet it does, though. Can't believe we haven't had the hunting dog event yet. You normally get that quite early on. You spend weeks in the wilderness searching for any trace of your prey, but you are forced to return empty-handed. You are sure that no one's impressed by your failed adventure. So it's my own failure. I can lose 20 prestige and gain the trait Humble, which would give me some monthly piety and increase my same trait opinion. Or I can become arbitrary. Well, we don't want to become arbitrary, we'll become humble. Some of these negative opinions, you get some of these events and you can just choose between a positive opinion and a negative opinion. And you think, why would I ever choose the negative opinion? But one thing about CK2 is it's a game that a lot of people like to roleplay. There are some people who will play this game, create a character or play as a character, and won't necessarily pick the options that are best for success, but they will just pick the options which seem to be appropriate for the character that they're playing, sometimes even to their detriment. And it's quite a good game that, because it's unlike EU4 where you're just playing as a faceless country, because you're actually playing as a person, you can sort of role play the character, and that's one of the things I do like about CK2, even though it's not a way that I actually choose to play. So the Cathar heresy has reared its ugly head in the province of Northampton, which is a little bit of a pain. So if we go ahead and have a look here, we can see that on the religious map mode. So we're going to go ahead and take our court chaplain and get him to... I can never pronounce this word, but it's proselytize in posterity. So you go over there and sort that out. Prostration, I think it's usually referred to. Lead them in prostration. Hallowed are the Ori. No, that's not right. Okay, so we're just still ticking on, waiting for things to happen. So, Earl Beornoth of Worcester claims that the Bishop of Lincoln is attempting to promote his vile heresies. How should I use this information? We'll just keep the information to ourselves for the time being. Now, the Bishop is actually... The Bishop of Lincoln is actually our court chaplain. So we'll see what happens here. Peddlers selling all sorts of food, clothing, exotic spices and luxuries such as glass and jewels filled the town square with their wares and shouts. There are a couple of things I need. I could lose 10 gold. I'd gain some general opinion, but I'd lose a stewardship. I don't like the merchants, but their wares are fine, which gives me a 50% chance of becoming shy, which I don't really want. Fares are fun for all. 50% chance of becoming kind, 50% chance of becoming stressed. Or I think fairs should be banned, which will insult the bishop for 1 year. Knowing my luck, if I pick this, I will end up getting stressed. So I'm just going to insult the bishop for a year. It's only a year, it'll pass, he'll get over it. And if he doesn't, so what? We'll plan to have him executed or something like that. Now, come on there. Right, we're... Wife is pregnant again. Are you ever going to manage to get a claim on Essex? Do you still have no allies? No, you don't, which is good. And you've got a crap martial score, which also helps out. When guests arrive, my son Oswald is the first to greet them and shower them with questions. So we gain 1 diplomacy and give him gregarious. Does he not already have that? He is already gregarious. Obviously, we want him to keep that. I don't think there's anything else that'll make him lose his gregarious, unless we went for that one. We could introduce him to everybody. It does decrease people's opinion of us because of envy. 1 diplomacy. Let's just do that. He gains another diplomacy anyway, and he keeps gregarious because he already has it. Now, there are some traits that do cancel each other out. They're usually like the sins and the virtues. If you have like the 6 deadly sin, you can't have the 6 virtue. Same as if you have the 6 virtue, you can't have the 6 deadly sin. They'll cancel each other out. So you do have to keep your eye on some things. Our steward is now dead as well. What happened to you? Died of a natural death, age 47. Okay, so it looks like we need to get ourselves another steward. You didn't last long. Wasn't all that long ago that I appointed you. So who wants to be steward? You're all pretty terrible. Yeah, you'd like to be steward. That'd still only give you 8 stewardship, which is really bloody poor. But we'll do it anyway. Sure, we'll get somebody better along at some point. I hope we do. And this is another reason in this game why you want to try and take as much land as possible. You've managed to... Oh, you've converted the province, have you? Brilliant. So let's just see where we want to send you now. Yeah, as I was just saying, this is one of the reasons why you want to claim more land, because the more land you have, the bigger your court, and the bigger your court, the more people you have to choose from for various roles in your council. So the Bishop of Canterbury likes us quite a bit, and he's paying us some money. The Bishop of Leicester, well, he likes the Pope more than me, only just. Maybe we can go and fix that if we get lucky with a role. So you can go and improve religious relations in Leicester and see how you do with that. On a courtesy visit to the abbot of a local monastery, you observe a group of monks translating beautifully illustrated books into your language. I will buy a few books, perhaps I'll even read them. Gains 30 prestige and a chance of 1 learning. Or we can do nothing. 40 gold is quite a bit, but I didn't even check to see if it gave me the learning. I don't think it did, because I think we'd left it on the default, which was 5. A little bit of a shame there. We have another son. Starting to make me think that I might actually want to go and pass elective monarchy. And I think I do. So let's go for elective monarchy. Now, successor nomination, I want to nominate my... I think my second son, to be honest, at this point. Family. Because my first son, he has decent stewardship, but he's also... Okay, he's just and gregarious, but he's also deceitful. 33663. And my second son... has much higher diplomacy and martial. Not as high in the old stewardship. But he's brave, he's gregarious, he's humble, he's zealous, he's charitable. I think it needs to be him, you know. I think it needs to be Beortric. As difficult as his name is to pronounce. So I think Beortric needs to be... Why did that not work? So I just click nominate. There we go. We need Beortric. Why do you dislike me? He's the one I'm voting for anyway. But why? Well, he likes me now. Oh, he's outraged by succession law change. Even though that succession law change has just basically made him the heir to the realm. So providing everybody in my realm keeps voting for him, which they hopefully will, we're now not going to have that title loss on succession because we're no longer Gavelkind. Our titles aren't split between all of our sons. They're just given to the person that we are voting for. So that makes it a little bit safer. Of course, it doesn't mean we need. It does mean we need to keep people happy to the point where they will. Most of these are actually pleased by the succession law change. That's fine. I guess it makes sense because if you have this sort of law, it means there is a chance that other people could, you know, they can vote whoever they want for a ruler. So it's more diplomatic. So I guess that makes sense. Orthodox faith, that doesn't really concern me. Let's go into intrigue and we can go on a grand hunt again. So let's go ahead and do that. See if we can find this white stag. Looks like someone's been given a seat in the Cardinals. The sighthounds thirsted for blood this gentle afternoon when they brought as many hares. So we get some prestige. You didn't really find the white stag though, did you? Ah, wolves. On the hunt, you keep seeing a group of wolves from time to time. They only seem to appear when you are alone or when no one else is looking, however. It all has a strange and exhilarating effect on you, making your blood run quicker and drawing out your hunting instinct. So I gain +1 diplomacy, and also 10 general opinion for a couple of years. So that is quite nice, but we are over the 20-minute mark, so that's a good place to end the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Crusader Kings 2, and I will see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.